Just 2 weeks before the elections begin, two surveys show that unemployment is the key issue for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. A survey conducted by the Association for Democratic Reforms across 534 Lok Sabha constituencies and 2.73 lakh voters show that 47% of the respondents, almost half of the respondent, lists employment as their top priority. That's not all. An online survey by local circles highlights that a majority of the respondents want the next government to reduce the unemployment rate. We spoke with retired Major General Anil Verma, who's the head of the Association for Democratic Reforms, and Sachin Taparia, the chairman and CEO of local circles. And this is what they had to say.
It is just a reflection of two things. One is, what does the voter want and how does he rate the government? And this is the third in the series of the surveys. We had done the first one in just before the 2014 elections, and the second one was a midterm which we did in 2017,
right?
And this is the final one.
Okay.
And in all of them the outcome was the priority number one given by the voters or the common man was employment.
Okay.
In the last one it was and it has increased, by the way. It has increased 67% in the priorities from the 2017 survey as far as the employment goes. And the number two, which is healthcare, has increased by 40%. Our aim in doing the survey is to let the powers that be and the political parties and all the people who are involved in the governance to pay heed to what the common man wants. These are the issues which are not seriously discussed in the campaigns, and secondly, even during the budget allocations, these issues are not given the due importance which they should get.
In terms of what the voters are saying, they would like to see change. We talked about ease of doing business as one of the sort of overarching themes that they want the next government to address. But also, if I look at what they're saying, they want significant foreign direct investment through business-friendly policies to be prioritized. They want massive incentives for MSMEs and startups. They want greater private and public infrastructure spending and lesser bureaucratic inefficiencies. So they're very clear in terms of priorities that more FDI is the route to employment generation.
You know, very clearly that's what is coming out of the survey, Shireen, and we basically asked people that, look, you know, in the last 5 years, the total FDI has been somewhere in the range of 250 to 260 billion. What would be the target that the next government should take on? And most people seem to believe that at least that target should be 450 billion. So I think that's very clear that, you know, if for the next government, what people are basically saying is, you know, bring in FDI, make ease of doing business a priority, you know, not just in large metros, but in major districts of the country. And, you know, this will help create unemployment and boost the job creation engine. So that's, you know, very, very clear with what we have seen from the survey.
Major General, I'll give you the final word then. Across these 31 parameters that you've listed in your survey, have they also given you more color on what they would like to have the government prioritize, the next government prioritize by way of measures to address these issues?
No, they haven't. We have not really gone into that part as to what measures are, but the basic theme, like I mentioned earlier, was that we would like the political parties or whichever government is formed to take into consideration that the budgetary allocation should be done as per the priority or the demands of the common man. There has to be an interaction between the people and the government.
All right, the countdown to elections begin, but now it's time for another break. Coming up, 4 out of 5 members of the CNBC-TV18 Citizens Monetary Policy Panel vote in favor of a cut ahead of the RBI's rate decision next week. More on that when we return.